I entitled this question, Habibi, come to Dubai. And the reason why is I was talking to this, I'm not revealing who asked this question, obviously. I was talking to another client last week about it. I mean, super smart guy, fund manager, Ivy League educated or whatever, but he's not a tax guy, right? And he's saying, Darren, what's going on? Everywhere I look online, these are his words, not mine. Everywhere I look online, there's somebody on YouTube screaming about leave the US and go to Dubai and he'll save all this money in taxes. But, he's saying, I'm hearing it, but intuitively, this doesn't make sense. What they're saying, it doesn't make sense. Are they misselling? Are they misrepresenting? Are they misleading people? Or am I missing the trick? And so my response to this person, which is same response I'm going to give to you right now, is that you're not missing anything. You're just using your head. If something is too good to be, the rule of thumb is if something sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. I mean, I don't mean to sound cynical. I don't mean to come across that way, but that's real. I mean, by just jumping on a plane and going to another jurisdiction, all these benefits could be yours? Of course not. That's not how it works. Life is a little bit more complicated like that, especially when it comes to law, especially when it comes to taxes. Just a little bit of common sense. If it's too good to be true, it's too good. It's not true, right? So it's not as easy as jumping in a plane, going to Dubai, and then suddenly saving all this money in taxes. So first of all, you will be subject to the U.S. tax system. The U.S. doesn't care whether you live in Denver or Dubai, whether you live in Seattle or Sharjah, Atlanta or Abu Dhabi. Doesn't matter, right? You will be subject to taxes on your worldwide income. And you would not be relieved of that responsibility simply by jumping on a plane and going to another jurisdiction. Doesn't work like that. It's a joke. But I get it. Everybody's trying to earn a living, right? So if you think that person who's sitting on YouTube and screaming about Dubai is doing it out of the goodness of their heart, come on, I have a bridge that I want to sell you. It just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. They're doing it because they're financially incentivized to do it. And unfortunately, they may be a little bit strong on the selling part and a little bit light on the truth part. So simply by going to Dubai, you're not going to suddenly be relieved of the obligation to file and pay taxes. That's not going to go away. And especially the most common way of becoming a resident in the United Arab Emirates, so Dubai is just one of the 7 or so Emirates, is to get a free zone company and form a company in one of the free zones. So there are like 45 or so free zones across the 7 Emirates. So you pick one, and that's a process that you shouldn't be driven by whoever's trying to sell you the hardest. So given their commission level, it must be something that makes sense given what you're trying to do. But okay. So most people, at least most of our clients, they've set up a company. The company gets their residency card or the Emirati ID for them. By virtue of having that company, and that company known as a bank account as well, that company is also reportable on your U.S. returns, on your Form 5471. You need to declare on your U.S. returns the existence of the company. So the point is this: not only do you still have to pay taxes when you leave the U.S., you also need to report your investment activity outside of the US, including the formation of companies. So you have additional reporting requirement. Your compliance burden increases. I'm not saying don't go. Of course, go. Beautiful place. We're doing an in-person event, and I checked before this call. We had 77 people registered. So we're going to be at the Capital Club in the DIFC, the most popular. Let's say what we consider to be the most attractive free zone for those in financial services and the legal profession. So we're going to be in that free zone, in that jurisdiction, the DIFC, in the Capital Club on the 11th of April. 77 people registered. So big fan of Dubai. I love it. I have an Emirati ID as well. But it's not about saving money on taxes. It's for other purposes. So you still have a tax obligation. The only way to relieve yourself of that tax obligation is to surrender your U.S. passport or green card. That's the only way. Or if you want to move, but you don't want to give it up, you can move to Puerto Rico. Under certain circumstances, you can pay very close to zero. We did a whole live stream with a Puerto Rican tax expert about, I think in January, so a couple months ago, January 2023. So have a look, over an hour of Q&A. from all these people asking all these scenarios, and he's answered them. So you get it. Again, it's not just move there and you're going to save money. Of course, when it comes to law, when it comes to taxes, it's always very nuanced. But you still have the opportunity to pay next to nothing while retaining your U.S. passport or green card. You move to the Emirates, you need to surrender it in order to get that zero tax benefit that they talk about. Now, if it is that you're on a relatively low income, so your earned income is less than the foreign earned income exclusion, which it moves with inflation each year, but right now is around 112,000, right? So if it is that you earn less than that, then you can in fact pay zero tax depending on how your income is structured because of the Section 911 foreign earned income exclusion. So it is possible for those on the lower end of the income ladder. It is possible to move to Dubai and be low or no taxed, but it really depends on your situation. Understand that the responsibility, even if you're below the foreign earned income exclusion, the responsibility for filing a return remains. And in fact, the compliance burden may be increased because remember, you have to report your US and your non-US, your foreign investments, like in foreign companies or foreign bank accounts under the FinCEN 114, your FBAR foreign bank account report. So it's not that I'm bashing Dubai and I'm not bashing anybody for trying to make a living, but here's something you already know. Your parents told you that when you were growing up. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. It's not true, right? So yes, you can move to Dubai under certain circumstances. You're going to save potentially some money, but it's not automatic. It doesn't work for everyone in every financial situation. When it comes to law, when it comes to taxes, everything is nuanced. So, hope that helps answer that question and clear up that myth.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.